here he is, Mr. Gamebred himself, the pride of Miami, Mr. 305. What's happening, Jorge? How are you, my man?
What's up, my boy? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Is life good? Retired life good?
Retired life is freaking pretty damn good, you know. I can't complain. I got no complaints, man. Life is good. I'm spending a lot of time with my family, making money. I can't complain, man. Life is good, man.
You're just chilling. By the way, did you just have lunch or something? Do this for me. You got some stuff in your beard. I want you to look good. You see, I look out for you. See, other people wouldn't say that to you. See, I look out. I look out. I got your back.
Motherfucker looks out for me, man.
Yeah, much respect. All right, so you're making money where? In the promoting game or in other walks of life?
On other walks of life, like slow and steady with little businesses that I've set up throughout time, but mainly in the promoting, man, we're breaking strides every time. More and more. We got this show coming up September 8th, JDS versus Werdum. Then we have another show in November, another show in December. So we're keeping them lined up. The next card you're gonna freak out about too when you hear the main event versus main event type thing. So I'm pumped, man. I've been doing this my whole life, like I said. So I want to put fights together and make me go, holy smokes! I'm gonna spend my hard-earned money and time to go watch this or at least tune into it, you know. So when we come across matchups like that, I know I'm doing a solid job, you know.
By the way, I never asked you this. Was it always the dream for you to be a promoter, or is this something that came to you later in life?
No, later in life. When I first got into the first thing and only thing for me was fighting. It's like that's it, you know. I'm born to fight and I want to fight, and I fought for as long as I could. And I had a blast doing it. Maybe like around 5 years ago is where I started thinking more about promoting. And then about 3 years ago is when I started to put it to the pencil to paper and putting on shows, doing all these things, being involved as much as I could as a promoter. So for about 3 years now that I've been doing it, I love it. You know, this is something I could definitely do.
Okay, and you're going strong. And by the way, last time I spoke to you was in April after your last fight. Any regrets about the announcement? Any itches coming back? Or I know it's just been 3 months since, but are you at peace with the decision?
You know, that's a hard one, man. To be at peace with it's something. Let's say I had played, you know, tic-tac-toe for 20 years in a row. You know, it'd be hard to just give up tic-tac-toe. Anything I think that you do is that, especially being a human being, that with features of habit, it's just rough. You know, there's some days that are tougher than other days. There's some days that I'm very moody and I don't even know why. And it's just like, man, I got to go get a good workout in and get all this bad energy and stress off of me. And that's it. And that's something that MMA always provided. It just kind of like, it's like therapy, you know? So I definitely got to keep myself in the gym always. And the itch to compete is always there. I mean, I go in the gym some days, I do phenomenal. I'm like, I haven't lost a beat. I need to get right back in there, you know? But it's, it ain't the same, you know? But yeah, of course I miss it. I love it. This is all I knew, all I did for such a long part of my life since I was a kid.
Well, you're still involved. You're at the gym, like you said, and you're promoting events. September 8th, just announced Jacksonville, JDS versus Werdum. Why are you running this back? And by the way, how do you decide? Because you also have the boxing. So, like, why isn't this a boxing match? How do you decide if it's going to be bare knuckle MMA or if it's going to be boxing?
A lot of different factors. You know, first and foremost, is we talk to the athletes. We give them opportunities. We have many different ways. We have a glove promotion as well, Icon Fighting Championship. We have the boxing and we have the bare knuckle. So when we're talking to athletes, it's kind of like, what would you want to do? You know, this is what the options that we have coming up. What would you want to do? And then we start working around that and building cards around that. We start up at the top, get the main event, get the city, and then from there we start to fill out the card.
Was this a hard one to put together?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. We've been working on this one for a couple months. JDS and Werdum's people are amazing on the individuals that handle them. The company's amazing on the management side, but it's just not easy when you got to fight of a big magnitude. We got to get guys what they want, this and that, arrange the things. You know, it wasn't the toughest thing in the world. There's been tougher fights that we've had to deal with, but it's just not the easiest thing in the world either. But it's definitely worth it. Every phone call, every night staying up late, doing this or that, it's well worth it at the end.
You like it?
I love it. I love it. I think our last show went amazing. Roy Nelson is a dog. Dylan Klegler came to fight, but the way that it ended, I couldn't ask for a better ending. That's what a bare knuckle fight is. These guys are going at it toe to toe, blow for blow, not backing down. Then all of a sudden it's over. One guy was dead. It was crazy, man. The ending was insane. It was the best bare knuckle fight I've seen in person.
And by the way, and that was in Florida, so that was a big deal. I think it was the first one, right?
First legal.
Yes, of course.
Florida.
Yes, of course. There's been many a backyard. But like those phone calls, are you involved in those? Like, are you the one calling up JDS or Werdum? Yeah.
Me and my partner Dean Tool split up a good amount of work. It depends. So like a guy like JDS, he still has his management and everything. But first, I could reach out to him because I've known him 10 years plus. He's at the gym. He's a stablemate. And hey, JDS, what are you doing on so and so day? Nothing. Why? Okay, let me talk to you. And then I'll just give him like overview of the picture that we're trying to do, and then I'll have somebody with the details call him. Hey, this is what we need, and blah blah blah. And then he'll introduce them to their manager. I think he's with Dominance.
We still got you.
Oh.
Oh, now we lost you. All right. There I am talking to myself. And yes, we have the poster for that, right? I don't know if you showed it already. Do you have the poster for that?
Here it comes.
What was that, like, here's Johnny? Here's the poster. September 8th, Jacksonville, Florida. Does it say a venue there?
Yeah, it looks like it's at ViStar Veterans.
Oh, the infamous.
The best. BMF.
This is part of the thank you for opening the doors in the early days of the pandemic. I'll never forget that first fight, UFC 90. I was on my honeymoon, believe it or not. Oh, there it is. There he is. I was on my honeymoon.
There he is. I was on my honeymoon.
Oh. You hear me?
You hear me?
I don't know what the hell happened. These iPhones are crazy.
Yeah, they are crazy. Yeah, they are. On us. Why do I hear myself, Frank? Or not anymore? Do you hear me, Jorge?
It's loud and clear.
Okay. All right. So you made this fight. It's going down September 8th at the ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. That's where they just had the UFC. You usually come bearing gifts, Jorge. And this time, I will admit, this is a shoot. Sometimes I know the fights in advance. This time I know nothing in advance. Do you have anything that you can share with us regarding this upcoming card?
I got a lot of stuff I can share with you, man.
All right.
How much do you want me to share with you, man?
Everything, if possible.
Well, we're also talking to Emiliano Sordi to be announced. He will be fighting on the card. We're tracking down his opponent. He will be on the card, representing Argentina.
Yeah.
That's going to be a hell of a fight. We're also talking to Hector Lombard, man.
Oh, the legend.
Maybe those guys are both on the card. We don't know. We have Anthony Njokuani versus Brandon Jenkins. That's one of my picks for fight of the night right there. That one's going to be a blockbuster, I feel. Especially bare knuckle. Both these guys love to get after. So we got Irvin Rivera versus Joshua Means. It's going to be a good one, man. Here we go. Brandon Davis versus Ago Husick. Bare knuckle as well. We got some fights, and not everybody. It's not a diss everyone on fighters that fight with a glove, but not every fighter that fights with a glove is meant to do bare knuckle. So we try to find the guys that'll be the right fit for bare knuckle, the guys that'll go through the pain. And a lot of times when guys get hit, they all of a sudden turn into a grappler in bare knuckle. Guys that I've never seen shoot for a takedown. As soon as they get even like a little jab to the face, they're just grappling and changing up their style. So we have to find the right type of dogs for this event,
And is it the same rules as MMA, just no gloves?
Same exact rules, just no gloves, your tape, your gauze, all that, but no gloves. That's the only rule change.
And in a cage?
In a cage, brother.
Dang.
Where would you want it at?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe. Did you ever fight in an empty pool?
Not fight, but like boxing gloves on with the homies in an empty pool for sure, yeah.
Really? Wow. What's the weirdest place where you had a street fight?
I want to say a bathroom.
A bathroom?
Like a men's bathroom, yeah.
Like it was legit, like, let's fight in the bathroom, or it just popped off in the bathroom?
Popped off in the bathroom.
Okay. But it wasn't like, meet me in the bathroom and let's do it. Like
No. There's 100 other places I'd rather meet somebody.
Yeah.
No. I mean, bathrooms, I think I got into a scrap in the church parking lot some time ago when I was like a kid, like 13, 14 years old.
Wow.
That's a weird scrap. That wasn't my best day. But yeah, definitely probably like a public bathroom. I got assaulted in one. These three guys, they weren't the wisest and whatever, you know.
They jumped you.
No, they didn't jump me. They tried to, you know, and just I was I was actually in China. Chelsea Sohn and Michael Bisping, they said the story. I told Bisping the story when we were catching a cab from like Chile to Argentina or something to go to the airport, and we were both in a cab ride, and he was there in China at the time when this happened. She's like, "Man, I heard this crazy rumor. Is this true? Did you get in a fight in China in the bathroom?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did." You know.
Who was it with?
Some three random European guys. I was in the bathroom. I had like a nice chain on at the time, and I was waiting in line to to wash my hands. I had just pissed. So these guys are behind me, and somebody picks up my chain with like their fingers like that and turns to his friend and starts saying something in a language that I'm not understanding. And I turn around very politely and I go like, "Hey, relax, bro. It's all good, you know." And then like go forward like this, like to get away with it, because he's literally grabbing my chain. Like I've never seen you in my life. You couldn't do that, you know. And then I'm here, I'm looking at the reflection in the mirror, and the guy goes like this and lifts up my chain like an ass. He goes like that to me and he says something in whatever language he was speaking. So I was like, bro, I know what's gonna happen next. If these guys just keep doing it, they're gonna take everything I got, you know. So when I turned around, the guy got in my face, and then yeah, it was like a sleeping bomb went off in there.
Fuck. You knocked him out?
The fuck out, him and his two buddies.
Wow. You knocked all three out?
Yeah, 'cause they all rushed me. The one dude got in my face. I told him to get back. He didn't understand me. He got a little closer. Boom, down. His friends come rushing at me. What am I gonna do?
All in a bathroom.
All in the bathroom. And so here's the thing. I leave the bath. I wash my hands still after I'm done with them. I wash my hands. I go to the section where we're hanging out. And the dude that was like in charge of the group, he comes to me. He's like, "Hey man, check this out. Cops are in the way, right? Because they said somebody got beat up in the bathroom or whatever. In China, like if you go to jail, you don't see the judge, you don't get bailed for 10 days. So right or wrong, you're gonna be in there for 10 days if you do get arrested. And I wasn't gonna take that chance, so I just took off.
Where'd you go?
Back to my hotel.
And no one came for you?
Nobody came for me.
Were you at the arena? Were you at a fight when this happened?
This was, yeah, the UFC brought me out there and I was at a nightclub and there's a bunch of UFC people there. Joanna was there. I remember seeing her. There was all types of people from the UFC was there, like guest fighters and stuff. So it was like a very good time. I was about to have the time of my life and then this happened. So after that, I just got into a cabin and went back to my hotel and like hung out in the lobby, I think, and stuff.
Were you worried?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
That is, did you think?
I didn't do nothing wrong. And I'm like, maybe China's weird and they have cameras in the bathroom. Perfect. Go fucking check this out. Like these guys are trying to assault me. I'm not gonna, what am I gonna do?
Do you think
with a black eye, no chain?
Do you think they knew who you were?
No idea. I had no idea. These guys were just like drunk and fucking rowdy as hell and obnoxious. And they had some size to them. So I guess they were just like, you know, I was probably like not the biggest guy in the group at the time, you know?
Is that the most amount of people you ever knocked out by yourself? Like in a short span of time?
I think so. About 2, 3.
It's not bad.
I've been in numerous scraps in Miami, Florida, like period. And then throughout the country, I've been in a couple as well. But in Miami, I've been in a lot of situations where it's like me and a friend against like 4 or 5 people when I was younger, and those were fun. This is like some of the funnest things actually I've done in my life. Like a friend of yours that could kind of scrap, and then you against a bunch of, you know, civilians.
But not recently, right?
No.
No. Oh, someone else is calling you. Maybe it's those guys from the bathroom.
Yeah. They want their dignity back.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of which, to a degree, I saw you and Jake Paul, and you guys put out this video, and I thought it was going to pop off. But now you guys are boys.
I wouldn't say boys, but we're getting along. We're talking, you know, he kind of explained to me where he was coming from and stuff. And he was, you know, he was saying what he said. And I was like, all right, whatever. I get it. You know, I wasn't like trying him, but I was just backing up my boy Woodley, you know. I was very confident in Woodley's abilities. It didn't end up happening, whatever, but I was still confident in him then, still confident in him now, you know, and he didn't like that. And he got sour about that and whatever. We talked it out and it's all good now.
Okay. So it wasn't contentious, or it wasn't like, there was no tension or anything like that when you were around him and his crew and all that?
No, when I first pulled up, I hadn't seen him in a while, so it was obviously tension. There was a lot of tension. I had a lot of security guards there and stuff. But as soon as I got out and I started talking to him and we shook hands, like I saw the vibe. Everybody was cool. Was nobody on some street shit, like trying to fucking come up on nobody. It was cool. He really didn't want any of that static, you know, and I didn't either. I didn't understand why he got so upset that I said Willie was gonna beat him, you know, just whatever. It's my boy. What do you want me to say?
Of course. By the way, who do you think wins? Your old friend Nathan or him?
I'm just curious to see what Nathan, how he's been living his life, you know. Has he been training? Has he been doing all the things you need to do to be able to compete? From what I hear from Jake stays pretty much training year round, you know. And from what I hear from people in the circles, he comes a lot to Miami, so I always know he's at certain gyms. He's been staying in there grinding. It's boxing. It's his first boxing match. There's a lot of advantages that Jake has, I think, going into this fight. But all that being said, I mean, Nate is Nate. You know, I could see him making this a dog fight, taking him to the later rounds, and then hitting the sprint after like round 5, 4, and up, just sprinting right at Jake. You know, I don't think Jake's ever met. Nate's not the best athlete for sure, but he's never met a competitor like that just won't take no for an answer. If he doesn't knock out Nate dead, Nate's gonna find a way to get back up and get in his face and keep pushing that pace and make him run a hard mile, run after run after round after round. So I'm very interested to see this fight. It's kind of one of those where I wouldn't be surprised if this guy won or that guy won. I know that's a very broad answer, but I feel like either one of them could win on the right night.
You're sitting on the fence.
Yeah, I'm sitting on the. That's a good term, right? I'm sitting on the fence.
You're not picking a winner.
Not on this one. I'm not. I'm looking at my home and let me see who you got.
Think Nate.
We got Nate. Who you got?
Out of who?
Nate and Jake.
I got Nate, man.
We got 2 Nate dudes right here, you know.
All right.
So go with Nate, man.
I mean, you
Who
kind
you got?
of have to go with Nate, right? Like that's your. I mean, that's your community. I'm not allowed to pick a winner because I'm working the card. Sorry, them's the rules.
This guy, huh? You plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth. I'm sorry.
This dude.
By the way, the week I've been dying to ask you this question. Week before that, the BMF title is back.
Yes,
How do you
sir.
feel about this? How do you feel about them resurrecting the BMF title? Dustin Poirier, Justin
love
Gaethje.
it.
You love it.
I love it. Keep it alive. Pick the right fighters to do it that are gonna fucking give their life. I mean, the first BMF fight was you got to see what it should be about. Guys trying to kill each other, and no matter what, pushing forward through it. Because if the referee doesn't stop that, I literally would have to kill Nate Diaz because he was gonna keep coming, and I was more than ready to kill him. But that's what it needs to be. Like when you get in there, you gotta understand, man. You gotta go for it all. You gotta put on a show for these motherfuckers around the world, live, everybody. And I think they picked the right 2 candidates to do that. Obviously, I'm leaning heavy towards Dustin, not just because he whooped his ass the first time and mopped him up, but I think he's going to do it the second time and even better and cleaner. And, man, Dustin's just good, bro, and he keeps getting better, bro. I'm in the gym. I see him. This guy's just getting better, man. I think he's going to hit Gaethje because Gaethje's going to be trying to catch up from all the mistakes that he did last time. And let me not do this and let me do that, but without saying too much, I think D's going to catch him by surprise with some new things that he's got on the works there. And it's going to end up being a great fight. My boy,
DP.
Dustin with his hair, DP, another belt to his collection. It's going to be a great night, man.
Did they tell you? Did they call you? Did they give you the heads up when they announced that they were bringing the belt back?
They asked me to do some interviews and stuff like that. We didn't get around to it, but it's not like they told me or anything. Like formally, they just told me, "Hey, after the fight got announced, like 2 weeks later, and they told me, hey, do you wanna do these interviews and stuff?"
Okay, but would you have preferred to know in advance, or did you not care?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like knowing or not knowing does anything. It's not like my yes or my no means anything. You know,
Just
it's
out of
a
respect, since you had the belt, you know.
it's a company, it's a business, and they run it and call the final shots. You know, I'm even happy that they asked me for any of my input as far as like if I want to do interviews and things leading up to it. You know,
Are you going to be there?
I will not be there for that one. I really want to. I'll be watching live for sure, like on a TV or on my phone, but I will not get to be there physically in person for that one.
I feel like The Rock put the belt around your waist. The cool gesture would have been you putting the belt around the new winner's waist, right?
That's like that, man. That's what Dana. Let me go over there.
Yeah.
Put the weight, the
Yes.
belt on Dutch's waist. Let's do it, Dana. Hunter, come on, make it happen. But I don't know who they're gonna end up picking and choosing. But I 100% agree with
It
you.
has
there.
to be
And
you.
then, right? And then Dustin gives a belt to the next
Yes.
guy. And it's called tradition, but
So you're
you know,
just for the record, because I could put in the call right now and make this happen probably in 2 minutes. For the record, you're available if asked, but you haven't been asked.
I wasn't available, but I could move things around for something of that.
Yes.
You know, I'm moving mountains for some of that magnitude. You know.
Okay. Well, that's a good. By the way, why did you never defend the title?
Because there was no other bad motherfuckers. But we were gonna. I would have loved to have done it with Usman. You know, put it up against Usman. You know, when he had the belt, something like that. You know, that would have been cool. But then after that, I fought who? The cop calling ass bitch. I mean, that bitch ain't no bad motherfucker, dog. That dude saying he can't fight because I gave him brain damage. You see, that dude can't fight for the title. Gilbert's a bad motherfucker, but we were both, you know, I mean, at least me, I was coming off a loss, so it kind of didn't make sense, you know, but maybe I'll come back and defend it later or something.
Oh wow! Now you're leaving the door open for a comeback 3 months later.
Since I left, I've always said I'm gone for now, but I don't know if I'll be back later, man. I love this sport so much. It like those days that I do good in the gym, it's like counterproductive because now I'm like, I told you, Mike Brown, I'm ready to go back in there. And you know, then Mike Brown is blowing smoke on my ass. Man, you never look better. And then before you know it, I'm booking a fight, you know, but then I'm like, nah, I can't. You can't.
My prediction is you do fight in some capacity, boxing, MMA. We will see you again. That's my prediction.
I would 100%, million% would love to do boxing just because, you know, if on more simple terms, if I had to make a living off any of the skills involved in MMA, like grappling, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, all of them, you break up the arts, the one that would favor me the most to make income for myself would be boxing, straight boxing, because it's a thing that I took more natural to since a kid, since I started all the arts. Kicking came to me, but it was a little bit more work, more everything. Boxing was like easy for me, like a fish to water. I never had a problem in that realm.
So you think that that's something that's possible?
You know, with the permission of Dana, Hunter, and the UFC, I would love to do a fucking nice boxing match. But you know, if it comes around, it comes around. I'll go ask for permission then. You know.
Why do you need their permission? Because you're still under contract?
On the contract, my brother, I'm retired, but that doesn't mean a lot of people think when you're retired, you just break contracts like that. Like, nah, my contract's right then and there. It's frozen by them, and if I ever compete, it has to be for them. You know,
Okay.
Terms are terms.
Right. And by the way, one person, very much in the know person, told me that one of his theory as to why you never defended the BMF title was because they didn't want to give you pay-per-view points. Because if you're a champion defending a title, they have to give you pay-per-view points. Do you think there's any truth to that? Okay. All right. We keep it quiet. By the way, can I ask? And I totally understand if you don't want to. Is everything okay with your dad?
He's in good health, but he's not in a good place.
Okay. Are you able to talk about that?
He has an ongoing case, but all I can say right now is that right now he's behind bars. He's in jail right now.
Oh man, how is that for you?
Sucks, bro. Sucks.
He's like your best friend, no?
Yeah, and since like 14, I was visiting him in these programs in jail and going to prisons and stuff. So it like sucks, you know. And then he got out when I was like 22, about to be 23. And now he's back in there, you know, so it just sucks. It's not cool, definitely.
And where do things, like, are you confident it's going to all work out? Like, how do you feel?
I can't really talk about that, man.
Okay, I understand. I understand.
Yeah. It's mountains of legalness and this and that and you know, but I'm confident that the one thing I know is that my dad was defending himself in Florida. There's this rule called the stand your ground rule. So we're putting a lot of emphasis on that and hoping that everything just works out how it should be, you know. And my faith is in God and knowing that my dad really didn't commit anything wrong. He was defending himself and his family. Shit happens, you know. Now the thing is that with my dad, he does have an extensive background of being like a bad guy, you know, for other things he did when he was younger. When he first got to this country, he got in some trouble for other things like drug trafficking and stuff like that. But for this particular incident, he did nothing wrong, you know.
Okay. Well, wish you guys the best there. On a positive note, you have September 8th, Jacksonville. Is that your next event, or is there one between now and then in any of the other promotions?
No, September 8th is a go, and that's where we're focusing all our chips on. After that, we're gonna have a show October, close to early November, and then we're gonna close out the year with a show in December. Then next year,
Okay.
12, I'm talking about 12.
12.
Fuck shows. One a month, brother. You can't get me at. Hey, I'm gonna be everywhere in this motherfucker.
One a
Get
month.
all these bad motherfuckers to take the gloves off. Come
Oh,
over
12
here.
bare knuckle, or is it 12 knuckle boxing?
12 bare knuckle only.
Wow.
12 show. Yeah. And I'm telling you, I got motherfucking world beaters coming on. I got some dudes that, like, I keep, you know, making your eyes roll back when I tell you who's on that main event right before we get on the show. And you're like, what? Same shit's gonna happen in the next card, and the next card, and the next card.
Okay. So are you done with boxing?
No. Wait, we're gonna have a boxing show this year for a fact.
Okay.
We'll be having a boxing show around October, November. We're still working on the names. I'm very close. I'm like 80% with a big famous heavyweight boxer versus another big famous heavyweight boxer.
Oh.
And if we could pull off this fight, it's gonna be news, man. It's gonna make headwaves.
The
in
last
boxing.
lineup was crazy.
Yep, and we're trying to make it crazier this one, you know.
Yeah, Jeremy Stevens on there. He's now fighting on the Nate card. Jose Aldo's just fought this weekend. I mean, you're giving birth to whole new careers for these guys.
I'm loving it. You know, and these guys are coming to compete and lay it all down on the line. So it's something that we're gonna do for young guys, for old guys, for middle of the pack guys, for whoever wants to come fight and be a dog and go get your name out there. Let's go.
All right. So September 8th, was there any other news to break, or is that it for now?
That and now that you said it, I'll be breaking somebody's face in boxing hopefully next year.
Oh,
So
shit.
now you're not thinking, man.
Wow.
Money I can go. Let me go fight one of these YouTube boxers out there.
You
bro.
want that?
I've been. Yeah, damn right, bro. You think about it. I've been training for this my whole life. Now I know it's not boxing, but it's combat that I've been training for. You talking about I'm gonna fight some guy that's been doing Twitch for like 5-6 years, and then he just found out that boxing is cool, and now they want to box me.
Can I throw one out your way?
Please.
KSI is trying to fight Tommy Fury, but the fight is falling through. And I know they're looking for a new name for October in the UK. You know who KSI is, right?
Yeah, he's
He's
the guy
Logan's-
that fought.
He's the guy who
Yeah.
fought Logan and Logan's business partner for the Prime drink. What about you're around the same weight? Jorge and KSI, you're like exactly the same weight.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't think that dude would ever take the fight.
You don't think so?
You kidding me? Hell no, bro. Are you kidding me?
I think I can make it happen.
Okay, and then you know I gotta call my people over at the UFC and be like, "Look, this is what's on the table. Give me permission." But no, that dude's not trying to die on TV. Like he's not. He's fighting these other dudes and he's barely surviving. You think he's gonna get in there with me? I mean, what does this guy do for a living?
Well, now he's been focusing a lot on boxing. He's in great shape. You know,
Like I said, these are fights that I want. These guys, been in this 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Come over here, please.
Jorge KSI.
That dude, that's a dude throwing elbows in boxing.
That's the one. That's the one.
That dude's wilding out, but nah, that guy don't want to die. I
Oh.
mean, he would hit me with that elbow, and I would just wink at him, and then he'd know, like, you're dead. You know?
When this show's over, I'm gonna make a call or two. In the meantime, call up Dana and Hunter. Say my boy Ariel is working on a deal. You're cool with him, right? It's all good. Let's.
No, I was cool with him until I said my boy Ariel.
I think this could happen. They won't hold you back. They're good guys. They'll let you go.
No, Dana's a great guy. So is Hunter, you know, and they're very business oriented, very business savvy. And at the same time, I feel like I got a good relationship with them, with the both of them. We've been through a lot together. So I think if it just made sense for the promotion, for myself, you know, I think that
I think this could
you know?
happen. I think this could happen. I'm actually very excited about this. I really think this can happen. I'm gonna call some people. Last thing.
In the Game Bread Boxing, KSI, if you're listening, we'll pay you the money. We'll bring you on over. Yes, you're sacrificial lamb, but check this out, bro. You're gonna get a nice little check for it, and it's gonna be on Game Bread Boxing because I don't box anywhere but Game Bread Boxing.
Could it be a co-promotion? Because he has his own promotion too, Misfits.
Co-promotion? It could be a co-promotion. Yeah, we could do something like that.
Okay. This is big. By the way, one last thing. 3 years ago, when you had all that stuff with your contract, you were talking about like unions and stuff like that. Do you think that's something in the works for you, or no? Are we done with that?
Me starting a union?
Yeah, or just being a part of it, not starting it, but like, is that something that you're interested in for the fighters? Because it seems like you're trying to help the fighters, especially the ones who are looking for stuff outside of the UFC. So this could be a way. Is it a possibility, or is it too far fetched at this point?
Fighters are very, like, as I said 3 years ago, fighters are very individual creatures, right?
Yeah.
And we all need to be like one voice under one roof and moving towards a greater good. And not to diss any of my fellow fighters and you know the lady fighters as well, but we're very individual creatures, and it's kind of hard to all just rally up behind one voice. So that I hope that MMA makes strides in the paychecks and starts making the money that a lot of us deserve. Hell yeah, I'm all for it. But I don't know if the union's the right way. I don't know if the commission's finally recognizing that, you know, if boxing commissions are doing if boxing commissions are the one officiating over us, why isn't the Muhammad Ali Act in place and for us? You know, there's a lot of things that could happen that the fighters don't even have to get together on. You know, there's a lot of things. The Muhammad Ali Act itself would change the game overnight. You know, not necessarily always for the good, but for most of it would be great. You know, I think I don't know if a union is the right way or not. You know, because it's tough, man. The way that the UFC does it, there's always a new guy. You know, so you got all these other guys sitting out here, and then they're like, okay, sit out. We'll bring up all these other guys up faster now. So it's a lot, man, but it could be done.
Okay. All right. Good luck September 8th. Tickets on sale?
Tickets on sale.
Where platform TBD, broadcast partner TBD?
The platform is TBD because we're working a couple platforms right now. We're gonna announce it within like 2 weeks who we'll be showing live on. And you can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
All right. Good luck, Jorge. Great stuff. Can't wait for you versus KSI as well. That's gonna be a big month for you, September 8th, and then you versus him in you want to say something? What's going on? All good?
Say it again.
Oh no, I was gonna say I can't wait for you. You September 8th, Game Bread MMA, Bare Knuckle MMA, and then you versus KSI in October. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, but I think you said that wrong because you said you should have said I can't wait to see you September 8th because you said you're coming.
Oh yeah. No. Well, we have to. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that offline.
This dude, man. You asked me to come in New York, I'm there in a heartbeat, man.
You've never been in studio. You've never been in studio.
That's a lie, motherfucker.
You have
That's a lie. No.
Not in this one. Not in this one. That's an old one. That's the old studio. This is a new studio.
You don't want me in that studio. I heard there's thugs ain't allowed in there.
Nah. You're always welcome. You're always welcome, my guy.
No thugs in there yet, man.
Much love, Jorge. Thank you as always. Great stuff.
Thank you, my boy.
Peace.
Friday, tickets go on sale. Ticketmaster.
Friday.
Fabricio Werdum versus JDS, the baddest motherfuckers in the world with no gloves, going at it, fucking to the death. Let's go. These are the biggest free agents I could find that are willing to take the gloves off and lay it all on the line. Don't miss out.
Love it. Good luck to you guys. There it is. Friday on Ticketmaster, JDS versus Fabricio Werdum 2. Game Bread, Bare Knuckle, MMA. Sheesh.